Hi, welcome to Local Flavor at the Institute for Culinary Arts at Metropolitan Community College. I'm Michael Combs, the executive chef here, and we also have Brian Young. Brian Young is joining us today. He's going to show us a little bit about molecular gastronomy.
Cool.
Is this something that you do all the time?
We get the privilege of doing it for some special parties and special groups that want to come in and have something fun and unique.
Sure.
Here for some special events and caterings for people we have in. So every once in a while, it's fun.
So, so basically, this is something you can most likely do at home if you have the right items to do it.
Right, absolutely. And there's some specialty stores around town that actually sell some kits already ready to go with pre-measured stuff, or you can go online and buy some stuff in larger quantities as you find something that you like to do and want to play with.
Awesome. So really, the only thing that you really got to have is just kind of these special chemicals.
Right.
Like food grade chemicals that you can use.
Right. And, chemicals kind of sounds like a scary word.
It does.
But they work off of each other to create kind of some fun, unique textures and some fun experiences. So.
Okay. So what are you going to show us today?
So we're going to do some reverse spherification. So we're going to do a strawberry sphere, essentially, where we'll encapsulate it, where it'll be kind of like caviar. I guess.
Oh, sure, sure.
Where it'll kind of pop in the mouth as you kind of bite into it. It won't taste anything like caviar. It tastes kind of with whatever puree or juice or flavor that you kind of want to play with. So today we're going to specifically be using strawberry.
Oh, sure.
So.
And so you can pretty much use any type of fruit you like. I mean, any type of pureed fruit. There probably are some that like maybe pineapple that has bromelain in it or something like that, where you might have to use something else to set that, huh?
Right, yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to strictly stick to fruit purposes for what we're doing. I mean, just for what we're doing today, we're doing fruit, but you could do something like a carrot or a celery, or build some fun kind of mocktails, if you might.
Cool, so like you can do like a Bloody Mary or something like that with like celery spheres in there.
Right, or a...
That sounds great.
Right, so...
Awesome. Okay, so... so what do we have going on? We have a bath. So this is going to be our bath water.
So there's two steps to it. There's a calcium bath, which is what kind of helps set the skin on the orbs or spheres that we make.
Sure.
And so that's the first thing that we're going to make. So we have just some calcium lactate.
Yep, calcium lactate.
That we're just going to sprinkle in to create our calcium bath, as we like to refer to it as. And we'll just kind of get that mixed in.
And we could also use a burr mixer too, or an immersion circulator that'll really kind of get it in there. But also another way to do it also, if you add a little bit of water to this, and just kind of mix the heck out of it and add it back in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we could use this blender, couldn't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So basically all we're going to do is we're just going to make sure this is very well incorporated. There we go, it's getting there. So with doing things like spherification and things, it is a really good idea to have one of these immersion blenders, don't you think?
Right, yeah, absolutely. Or you could use a bar blender at home as well. That'll do a similar thing as well. Achieve similar results.
Oh, true. It's like a smaller kind of...
Right.
So this is all ready to go, and we're going to let that sit. And so what I'll do is I'll just rinse this off with this. Because you know what? It's going to go in there anyway.
Yep. So we got a calcium bath. We also have another bath as well. And you kind of look at the calcium bath kind of like cooking the spheres.
Sorry.
And then what we do is you don't want to continue to let it sit there and continue to cook. So we have a water bath that we'll put them in to kind of stop that whole.
And it kind of clears them off, stops spherification, so that way the skins don't get so thick where they're just like jelly when you eat them. So
right, it's just like cooking. So you can overcook these where they'll just become solid, or you can kind of, and if that's your desire that you want to create that kind of texture, you can do that. Otherwise, you can kind of stop that process and put them in the water bath, and so they kind of pop, like I said, like caviar.
Awesome. And so we have some other chemicals here. There is a ratio for all this stuff, and there's a recipe for it. You'll be able to see this at the end of the segments. But So I think, let's see, we have some strawberry puree.
Yep, so we got some strawberry puree. You can make this at home. We just made this, and essentially it's just pureed strawberries, and then we just strained it out just to kind of get the seeds out. But again, that's not necessary, just something that we chose to do. And then we have a little bit of salt. The salt will kind of help pop the flavors a little bit. And then we've got...
Because salt doesn't change any flavor, it just
it
basically enhances flavor.
Right, salt's a flavor enhancer. And we don't use an excessive amount. It's just a little touch to kind of really brighten it up. And then we're going to do a little bit of sugar, just to kind of reinforce the sweetness of the strawberries. Like I said, you can use anything you want that's kind of in season as well. And then the last thing we have is the calcium.
That's calcium. That's alginate, I believe.
Sodium alginate, yeah.
Yep, sodium alginate. So this is reverse spherification. If you do other spherification, these two are flipped. So basically, you'll have the calcium chloride and sodium alginate. Sodium alginate could be here, calcium chloride could be here. So it's just called. That's what's making it reverse spherification.
So I'm just going to kind of get this started, and then if you could help me, just kind of add in a little bit.
So we're gonna
just kind of slowly add it in to kind of make it smooth and homogeneous.
You can see I'm kind of just a steady stream. It's nice and smooth. All right. And that looks great. It's nice, very nice and smooth.
Right.
Don't worry really about the bubbles right now. I mean, those will kind of work themselves out of here. But
right, and sometimes this can also have a tendency to get a little thick. If that does, you can just add just a little touch of water just to thin it out a little bit.
Right.
Just depends on the purees that you're using. So from there, we're going to go into our squeeze bottle.
Okay, and if you want, you could use a syringe or something like that, couldn't you?
Right, you could use a syringe, you could use a pipette if you can get your hands on some pipettes. Kind of the larger...
What's a pipette?
Pipette, so you see it a lot of times in science settings typically. So it's a little plastic tube with a plastic ball at the end of it that you use to kind of suck up liquids.
Just kind of drop.
Right, and so it'll allow you to achieve that same thing. We're going to go for drops on some of this as well. So
awesome. Okay, so we have a funnel, huge one. But so what we're going to do is we're going to load this thing up here, and it all fits.
Beautifully.
Drop that in there. I'll take that from you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so what's next?
So next comes the fun part of going into the water bath or into the calcium bath and then into the water bath.
Wow, so we can feel it. It's kind of like it's interesting because it's kind of like gelled up usually, because this is reverse purification, usually it's not quite like that. Like I've had other ones, this is like the calcium bath is usually it's not as viscous as it is now.
Right, it's like water, but the calcium bath has a tendency to do that as well.
I wonder if this will...
That might be a little thick.
Yeah, it is a little thick too.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really interesting. I've never seen it like that. Okay, so now...
we're using a squeeze bottle, like you said. You could use a pipette. You could even probably get away with a little Ziploc bag at home. You just cut the very tip of it off and just use that to kind of slowly drop in.
And you really make this as big as we like just by cutting the tip off, or maybe even putting some on a spoon and dropping it in.
Right.
To make it a little larger if you wanted to.
Right, absolutely. It's all about flow.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're just a few drops and
you can kind of see if I squeeze more, you're going to get more. If you
that's pretty
less,
cool.
You get smaller.
So that's how we're able to do bigger ones. Like usually what they'll do is they'll just go right through there, won't they? They just kind of, usually like when you make just regular spherification,
right.
they'll just drop right in there and they go right to the bottom.
Right.
And these you can tell are a lot different. They actually suspend, so you can make them bigger, couldn't you? Like if you wanted to make a few big ones. Oh, awesome. Look at that.
And this is a fun project too, especially with kids, when they can kind of just fun, and they can also make for instance here, like almost like a strawberry noodle. If I were to just take this and kind of do a long string, you end up with like some noodles, and you could create some fun little desserts out of that as well. So.
Oh, awesome! Look at that.
And so then, as this is going, I'm going to stop for a minute.
Look at this.
And you can see Mike here has got
I'll
one
drop
done, and
one.
he's pulling it out.
Look at that.
Get it into the water bath, and as we kind of go, we can pull some more of these.
So we can get a bunch of these little guys, and like you said, if you wanted to, you could make a little drink like a. If you wanted to, we actually have a little bit of just Sierra Mist here, and if you wanted to make like a little bit of a Shirley Temple or something.
Pardon my reach. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. Because you do got to be kind of easy with these guys. They're holding up pretty well. So you could do these in advance, couldn't you? And you just kind of hold them in. You can hold them in some water, but through osmosis, they will soak up the water. Oh, sorry, that was a good one. That's what I stole it from you. They'll soak up water and they kind of lose flavor. So what you can do is after you make these, you can put them back into the puree, a little bit of puree and water that you made these with, and they'll hold their flavor. And so, let's see. These are, look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
He's a nice one.
So you can, like, essentially for like an adult drink, you can make adult drinks with this. So if you really want to get creative and if you really think about it, you can make like a pina colada, couldn't you?
Right.
We can make a pina colada, and you can pop that pina colada right in here, and you can put a pina colada on a spoon. And what would happen is someone would put that in their mouth, and it would just explode in their mouth.
Right, absolutely.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's a cool, fun experience and something unique and exciting. So.
Yeah. So let's see. So we're just gonna make a quick drink here, and this, like I said, you can do this at home. Anybody can do this. It's just a little bit of Sprite or 7-Up. And so we're gonna pop this in here, and you can see exactly what that looks like.
Kind of reminds me of back when I was younger when they used to have the what was it, the Orbits or was it Orbits pop soda with the little kind of orbs inside of it.
I don't remember, but I know that, like if you go to the ice cream places now, sometimes they have spheres that you can that you can put on your
similar kind of thing. And like I said, if you just go crazy in this and you make a whole bunch, you can have a lot of fun little cocktails that people enjoy at parties.
And you can put bigger ones in there. You can put all kinds of different ones. And look, we could even probably put. Well, I'm saying we don't have to put noodles, I guess, in there, huh? But maybe we could put a few bigger ones in there.
Drop a big one right in the.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us in this segment, and when you come back, we're gonna have something else for you. It's all molecular gastronomy. We're gonna show you how to make cake in a microwave. So you can use microwaves for a little bit more than just heating up your leftovers. So we'll see you back soon. Welcome back to Local Flavor. I'm here with Brian Young, and Brian Young is showing us some molecular gastronomy today. What are we going to do now?
So our next recipe that we're going to be doing is a 40-second sesame microwave cake. And it's a fun little cake. There's lots of other fun little kind of 40-second, 50-second microwave cakes that you can make. You can find all sorts of recipes out on the internet for different ones, but we chose to do this one just because it's a little fun with sesame, kind of something unique. So.
Sure, and it's going to go kind of together with the other components that we have together today.
Right, absolutely.
And yeah, this is pretty cool. And all you really need is, there's a few things that you really need. All you really need is one of these ISI containers, or it's like a whipped cream.
Siphon whip?
It's a siphon whip is what it is. You can buy these anywhere. Stroller Top, I can't say anywhere, Stroller Top, places like that, but they're readily available. And then we're using NO2 chargers. So there's a difference, right?
Right, there's a soda charger and a cream charger.
And we're using the cream charger.
Right, the cream charger, it's commonly how I refer to it. So it packs a little bit more punch.
Exactly. More bubbles, more aeration.
Right, exactly.
Because they're really, besides the egg in here, there's really no other leavener in here. There's no baking soda or baking powder or anything like that.
Right, so we're using this to kind of create the air inside of a cake that you would typically see or that you would typically buy.
Awesome.
So let's get started. So
sure.
what I've got going on here, I've got some sesame seeds. We're doing black sesame seeds to add some color to this cake. And we're just toasting them off, trying to get them a little fragrant. If you see a lot of smoke coming off, you're a little bit overcooked, you can see kind of light wisps. That's right where you want to be. And then what we're going to do is we got these toasted off. What we've got here.
Well, do we add a little bit of the oil too? Or?
That'll go into the mortar pestle. So we've got the sesame seeds into the mortar pestle, and we've got our sesame oil that we're going to add into it as well. And so what a mortar pestle is, it's a kind of an old way of kind of grinding and processing. And this is kind of one of those steps where if you wanted to, you could go to an Asian market or an Indian market and you could get already pre-made black sesame paste or tahini, which is a regular sesame paste.
So basically, I mean, you can just go. So really, this is only for color because it's black. But otherwise, I mean, if you wanted to do it and you wanted it a different color or just a more of a lighter color, you can just use regular tahini, couldn't you?
Right, absolutely, and it'll save a little bit of time, a little bit of labor. But sometimes it's just not as fun to buy pre-made stuff.
Yeah,
so.
if you want to get, and you can do this ahead of time, and you can put it in your fridge too.
Right.
So, and then you can use it. You can use it for hummus.
Right.
And you can use it for other applications too, couldn't you?
Right, absolutely. Any baba ganoush, any other kind of
Yeah,
cookings.
true.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work this into a fine paste, just kind of like what you can see here.
Yep. So we have a really fine paste.
Right there.
And that oil really helps it come out and add more flavor to it too.
Right, and then what we'll do is we'll just take this and we'll use just a little strainer here and a little spatula, and we're just trying to push it through. And what we're trying to achieve is you can kind of see the paste starting to come out through the bottom, and that's what we're looking to, because these siphon whips have small holes in them, and so these large chunks will actually clog it. So we're trying to refine it, trying to make it a nice smooth paste.
So that's really the only reason. We just wanted a nice smooth paste so that way it goes through this container.
Right, absolutely. And so what we're looking for on this is we're looking for about 120 grams. And so a lot of these recipes that we're going to be cooking with are in weight. It's a little bit more precise measurement. So what we've got is we've got a scale here.
Oh, we're also doing metric system as well.
Right, we're doing metric system as well. It seems to be a little bit more precise in weights.
So baking, you're always doing weights normally.
Right, absolutely. And kind of with these more scientific, baking is more of a science.
It is like, it's pretty absolute.
Right, so we've got our scale, we got it in grams. We put our bowl on there, and we're going to zero out our scale down to 0 so it accounts for the weight of the bowl. And then you would measure out your...
Yep, so basically we'd measure out what we did is we pre-measured it out. So we actually have some of this here. It's 4.4 ounces, which is 120 grams.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And so that's all ready to go. And this is what the tahini paste looks like. So like I said, I mean, you could really save on some labor and time if you just go buy it.
Right.
So what do we do next?
So next, after we've done that, we're going to go and actually we're going to get the mixing process going.
Okay.
So
We'll take these from you.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm going to grab this spatula. So we've got our sesame paste
I'll take that.
that we're going to add in here. If you want to help me, we're also going to do some egg yolk, egg white.
So we're gonna do egg yolk.
Yep, all 4 of them.
We have 3 egg yolks. Like I said, the recipe will be available to you afterwards. We also have the egg white here. So I'm gonna add the egg white. And then we have sugar.
While he's doing that, I'm just going to get a little whisk on it.
And we have whole wheat
Flour.
So
Yep.
pretty
Pretty simple.
yeah, so very simple. That's gonna add a little more texture to that whole wheat flour will.
Yep. We'll give this a good whisk. Essentially, we're just trying to create a nice smooth dough or batter.
Okay.
And then again, same concept with this. We're just going to run it through a strainer again, just because again, we want this to be nice and smooth. Otherwise, we're going to end up clogging our siphon whip, and then it's just going to be a big mess. So,
And that would not be good.
right.
All that work, then you have to take it out. Well, if it does happen, you just have to take it out and make sure you
Right.
clean out the siphon whip, make sure you re-strain it. It shouldn't, this is just like a regular kind of cake batter, and it should be a little easier for you, just because there's no, like I said, there's no baking soda or baking powder
Right.
or anything like that in there.
So then,
So I'm just straining it here, right?
right, Mike's going to do that, and then we're going to get ready. We just got a little funnel, and we're going to,
Very simple. So we have that here.
yep, and I'll take that for you.
Okay. Or I can set it here.
Perfect.
Get this out of your way. And all we're going to do is we're just going to add it to our siphon.
Right, and so this is something we're going to get into. We'll talk about, this is a batter that we'll want to make in advance a little bit. So give it at least 2 hours made in advance after we charge it. And what that'll do is that'll help the batter to really absorb the NO2 to kind of keep it nice and light and fluffy and airy. And so
we're just kind of tapping that in there. So, and really what you can do is if you make this ahead of time, you let it sit for like 2 to 4 hours or even a little longer if you need to. If you had like a dinner party at home or something like that, you can put these right in the cups and they just go right in the microwave. You'll see how quickly this actually this goes. So basically this is kind of what we do, and we kind of put that on there, and Brian is going to charge these up.
So, and we just load up our container here.
And so what we do is we charge those up 4 times.
Yep.
And I have one ready to go. And so basically with this one, we have this one ready to go here. And this has been charged 4 times. So we've used 4 of these NO2 cartridges. There's 4 in there. You can, I don't know how many, you can probably put up to 6 of them in there. So it just depends on how small you want the bubbles and how aerated. Every time you add one in there, you got to shake it really, really well. So that way it kind of aerates the batter.
Right.
And so what I have here is I have these cups, which are very simple to use. This is a very simple application. So you definitely want to use paper cups because you're going to make some holes in them. So what I did is I put holes. I just stuck a few holes in here. This one's already done, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole in here. Be careful so you don't cut yourself.
You can also use scissors too.
Yep, you can use scissors too. And all I'm doing is putting around the parameter of this cup here. Just a few little holes. And I have one already made, and then I'm going to spray it with just a little bit of pan spray, so that way the cake comes out.
A release nice and smooth.
Yes, and so you can even hold this in your fridge too. So basically what I'm going to do is it's going to come out like a foam. And I don't want to fill all the way to the top, because if I fill all the way to the top, the cake is going to rise a little. So it's about halfway.
Right.
And I pop it in the microwave for 40 seconds. I know this sounds a little crazy. Who would have thought about baking a cake in the microwave? But this will be the quickest cake you ever make. It takes a little time to prep. But as far as cooking time, you can't beat it. It's a nice warm cake.
Right.
We're going to pop it in for 40 seconds. It should be nice. It'll be done. It'll be nice and moist. It's a really nice and moist cake. As y'all may know, like sometimes you put bread products in the microwave and they come out pretty hard, don't they?
Right.
Or you got to just a second eat them, or they get really hard. So 20 seconds here, and we'll show you what these look like, and we're gonna put together an awesome dessert. We have one more thing to show you on our next segment. We're gonna show you how to put together a little foam that's gonna go with it, and so we're gonna make a nice, beautiful dessert and tasty with some different flavors. All right, so we have these things. We have them done and they're ready to go. Cool. 40 seconds. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
You're good.
So all I'm gonna do is
So we're just taking the knife, running it around the edge.
Yep. Pop this out.
Just kind of loosen it up and pop it out. You can see the nice little sponge bubbles on there. Still warm if you let it sit for a minute as well. That'd be good.
And it's a nice, very nice moist cake.
Yep.
Look at that there. So that's it. We'll see you back in a few minutes, and stay tuned. Welcome back to Local Flavor. We're here again with Brian Young, Chef de Cuisine here at the ICA, Institute for Culinary Arts. Anyway, we have one more thing to show you, and then we're gonna plate up and show you kind of what you can do with these items that we've done today. We've been basically based on molecular gastronomy today, and we're doing a foam, right? Is that what we're doing next?
Right, yeah, really quick, really simple recipe, and again, we're gonna be taking advantage of our siphon whip. So all we've got here, we got some mango puree, and then we got some coconut cream, which you can typically find in the liquor department of most grocery stores. And we're just gonna, if you would like to mix that for me, actually I can just do it real quick.
So it's not coconut milk, it's coconut cream.
Right, yep, so it's a little bit thicker, a little bit more viscous, it's gonna add a little bit more creaminess. And also in this application, we want cream instead of milk because it's gonna hold the air from the siphon whip a little bit better.
Yeah, kind of like if you're doing, so basically we're doing if you're doing like a flavor whipped cream, you can probably do that too without the coconut, couldn't you?
Right, absolutely, and that's what a lot of places you'll see these at a lot of coffee shops. They use this for their
whipped cream.
Their whipped cream, yep, so they're doing fresh cream for you typically.
Awesome.
So,
here, would you like me to help you?
sure.
And all we're gonna do is we'll put this in with a siphon, and then we are going to charge it. And what I mean when I say charge it is we're going to basically inject it with a gas. So and we're going to use a cream charger for this one. So there's, like we mentioned before, there's a soda charger and a cream charger, and we're using the cream charger. And you can definitely do this ahead of time for for a dinner party. So some people get these things as gifts, as far as these siphons here, and now you know exactly what to do with them. You can use them for quite a bit. You can even hold hot soups in there. You can do all kinds of things like that.
Right. Yep. And so what we'll do is we'll just put our lid on, give it a quick spin, nice and tight, and then we've already got our cream charger in here.
Okay.
And we're just going to tie it down. You hear it carbonating.
And then we just give it a good shake, don't we?
Give it a good shake so that way it'll kind of distribute the NO2 evenly throughout the
awesome
cream.
And the one thing you might want to do is when you do these, just to see kind of how it's going to come out, is to give it a good squirt, because it'll give you an idea of how fast it's going to come out, what it's going to look like when it comes out, just like that. Awesome. And then that you can purge it, because that's what Brian just did. He just purged it. Basically, is what he did. So that way, when you plate it, it doesn't look bad. So we were both.
Go ahead.
How was it? Did it taste
Tasted
great?
delicious.
Awesome. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the cake out. This is the cake we just did this too. So look at that. This is out of the microwave. Pretty crazy. And just think, since it's only took 40 seconds, it can be nice and warm too. So you can plate this warm.
If not, you can do it cool. It holds really well.
Yeah, they do hold very well.
Yep.
And so what you can do is you can just break this apart really easy here, and it gives it kind of a crazy rustic look. Look at that.
Kind of like the Earth Moon, you know. It's got some very cool textures.
And it gives it like a really kind of rustic look. And Brian, if you'd like to put a little bit of the coconut mango foam down. Be very careful here when you do that part.
And so you can see while we're plating, we're doing stuff in threes. A little bit more eye appealing when you do stuff in threes versus in twos. Odds are better than evens, so.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like, so, you know, you shouldn't do even numbers and whatnot. But so what we're going to do here is we're just adding our little
strawberry spheres from earlier.
Spheres. And you can just lay those out anywhere in the plate. If you want to do a sauce with this, you can do a sauce with this too.
Right.
And if you don't want to do, like, there's different tips for this too. So if you don't want to do this type of tip, you don't have to use like a star tip. You can just do something a little different. But anyway, thank you for joining us today. And don't forget that to check out our website. All the recipes are located on this website. And we appreciate you hanging out with us today. Have a great day.